Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth. I love a good applause. I'm Elizabeth, I'm your hostess tonight, and we're talking about how to stay motivated. And I have to say, I've been struggling. I've been absolutely struggling to stay motivated because in my house, there's bakers. And they're always baking something or always having some sort of muffins or something. And I have really pretty much been able to stay away from that stuff, you know, barring the weekends where I might have something, you know, some part of someone's dessert, someone else's dessert, nothing I ordered, of course. And, but I noticed that when I had the first bite of the, you know, with sugar, I honestly could not stop. It just was like I just kept taking I kept taking a little corner and a little corner and a little corner and a little corner, and before you know it, the whole thing was in. Bob made some pecan chocolate chip butterscotch thing that was unbelievably delicious. I really, honestly, don't I sound like, you know, like an addict of some sort? And it's sugar. It was like I'm getting this sugar high, and then I'm so tired afterwards I can't even think straight. And so I've decided to give my willpower some strength training this week. You know, like lifting weights, but only willpower. And I'm just not having sugar for a week. That doesn't include alcohol, but but so far so good on that too. So what I really want to talk about is how do we get our mojo back? Old word, but how do we get motivated again? So tell me, what have you, first of all, I know that some of you have been unmotivated. Let's talk about why we've been unmotivated. You don't have to be too specific, you know, because some things are personal, but what do you think?
For me, it's this time of year, because it seems like everything, you know, I'm not as active, I'm not going outside because it's getting colder. Once I get home and it's getting darker, I don't want to leave the house again.
And you're just pulling the covers over your head.
Yeah, so I just find, and what do you do when you're home on, you know, watching TV? You want to munch on something. So for me, I just find that the whole atmosphere in general has changed. So
I think the change of seasons is so difficult on every single one of us. I think that's a big issue. So that could be the big thing for you, but we have to hold steady with our weight at this moment until we get, you know, till we move forward further. So, but I can understand how that happens, and that might, you know, you get that nesting thing. All of a sudden you're making, you know, you want good smells in your house, and you know, like you were saying, you made a banana bread.
Right?
I mean, you made it healthy, but I could eat a whole loaf of banana bread. So, what about you?
I'm with her because we were talking about this before the meeting. That I hate it when days get shorter. I look at my watch. It was like 7:45 last night, and I says, "In all of this, I thought it should be like 9:30, 10 o'clock."
I know, because I want to go to bed because I will continue to want to eat.
I know.
You know, I'm looking at the clock and I went, it's 7:45, and I'm thinking, I've already had dinner, my snack, my fruit. There's nothing for me to have now. What am I going to do? I have too much time. I'm trying. I think I need to go to bed at 9 o'clock.
I do some nights.
Just not to eat.
Yeah.
What do you got there?
I got into a really bad argument with one of my loved ones, and that just really threw my emotions through a loop, and it just made me lose all motivation. You know, I just got, when I feel rejected and when I feel sad, I just want to eat. Like my strength and my self-control just goes right out the window. It's just like, I'm hungry, I just want to eat, I'm so hungry. So that is really what made me get off track last week. And hopefully this week I'll be able to get over it and get back on track and get back in control.
Well, because you know the thing is that what we discussed this already, but what we do know, and what everyone knows in this room anyway, is food is not the answer to the problem.
Right.
I mean, there may be no, sometimes there's no solution to problems. And so, but food is never the answer. But believe me, I've used food 1,000 times. I will give you one example. I was supposed to be in a wedding, and I was the maid of honor. And the day before, the woman called me and told me that I wouldn't, she didn't really want me to be in the wedding because, pictures are forever.
Oh my God.
And that was when I was heavier,
Oh, that's horrible.
right? And I was like, pictures are forever, and you know how you look,
Right.
right? That's how she's saying it to me. And I left my house in the rain. It was pouring rain. I left my house. I went to Burger King. I never go to fast food places, never. I went to Burger King. I got a Whopper, a cheese Whopper, a fish sandwich, a milkshake, and a large fry, and sat in the parking lot eating it, crying. Now,
That's horrible.
did that make me feel any better?
No.
No, it didn't. What I really should have done was go and hung up the phone. Take care of your own wedding.
Yeah.
And the woman that she had replace me, they're no longer friends. So,
Wow.
you're just saying to yourself, this is a backwards thing here for me. I can't quite figure it out, being left-handed and right-handed, to go off the track completely. Anyway, but did it help me at all? No. It just made me sick. I was just so sick. I was physically and emotionally sick. And that's what...
But it gave you a moment of control. That's like one thing that you can control, what
Right.
goes in your mouth.
Exactly.
And when everything's going crazy around you, sometimes that's what you do.
I know,
Because
and-
it's not rational, but
Yeah.
it's what happens.
And I ate it all. I mean, let's not even think that I didn't. And don't think that having a big fish sandwich and a big cheese Whopper and these things are, first of all, it must have been 2,000, 2,500 calories, maybe even more, an incredible amount of calories. And of course, I was sick as a dog, so sick. What, do you have anything for me?
Well, I was thinking about what gets me in a rut, and I think that emotions, like we're talking here,
Yeah.
Emotions definitely get me in a rut. And so I really find that I need to occupy my mind and not be bored. If it's a bad TV night, I go read a book or catch up on phone calls. I had a woman call me that I hadn't talked to in 35 years, and we ended up on the phone for a while, but that's all I did was have a cup of tea. Well, it was like, sitting down with her and having a cup of tea like the old days.
Right.
Yeah, but and that's the smart thing, is we have to find other things that keep us occupied when we're, especially stuck in the house or bored, or it's early and we've already had our intake for the day. We have to find other ways. It's always hard to get out of our comfort zone sometimes. Like, you just want to go to, take a Zumba class or, do something that you would never think to do in your whole life.
Right.
And I think motivation right now for most people is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
And I'm that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I'm searching myself. So just for one day, just for one day, it's one day at a time. So just for tomorrow, let's try to keep our calories in order. Let's not try to eat out of, boredom or stress or even happiness, because, that's another thing you mentioned earlier. It isn't always just because we're sad or miserable. It's because it could be anything. We're celebrating.
Right.
What do you celebrate with? Cake.
I know sometimes I'd like to take a little note and put it on the refrigerator and say, "Are you bored?"
Yeah, yes. Are you bored?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what else could you be doing? And then,
I think putting something on your refrigerator to ask you the questions, am I hungry? Am I bored? And maybe a list of things that you could do instead. And they have to be sort of fun. It can't be some punishment like go fold the laundry.
No.
Right.
It has to be
Well,
something.
that sucks.
Yeah, right. So, Here's a good one. Surround yourself with positivity. I mean, it's so important. If people are not nice to you, you just have to say, I can't do this anymore. I just can't do it anymore because it's honestly too painful for me. But it affects my health. It's not just affecting me in the way that you've hurt my feelings. It's affecting my health because then I overeat to compensate for this. You know, I'm going, oh, poor Elizabeth, she's so sad. I need a cheeseburger. Right?
Yes.
Hey, have you seen those boards, those motivation boards? Like push pin one, cork, and you could put recipes on it, or you can put nice sayings like, are you bored, or, you know, am I hungry, or, you know, I'm going to weigh in on Tuesday, or, you know what I mean? You put all sorts of things on it and you look at it. I think pinning your bathing suit to the refrigerator door would probably be the best thing. Because no matter how we look at it, summer will come.
Right.
Well, we can hope summer will come. Summer will come. And so if we start now, especially before the holidays, starting to try to get on track, we'll just do better by that happening. Because I don't want to start January 1st 5 pounds heavier. Do you?
No.
No, none of us do. So everybody out there, if you don't want to start 5 pounds heavier in January, now you have 5 more pounds to lose, then you have to start now by editing what you're eating. It's as simple as that. Ask yourself what you want. You know, some people just don't really care if they lose weight. They really don't care. They're comfortable in their own skin just the way they are.
And that's okay.
And that's all, and that's perfectly all right with me. But if I'm going to say that I'm going to do this, I don't want to be disappointed in myself. You know, and I don't want you guys to be disappointed in yourself. You're going to have bad weeks. It's just you know, it's par for the course that you're going to have a bad week because there's going to be vacations and weddings and you know, stressful situations and all sorts of things. Winter, you know. And we have to set some realistic goals. I cannot believe how many people are disappointed when they lose a pound or two. I mean, it is the greatest joy to me to lose a pound. I'm like thinking, oh my God, I'm so excited. Now, when I was losing all that 93 pounds, I wasn't quite the same. It was like, oh, a pound, right? But, you know, when people say, how can I lose 10 pounds in a week? And keep it off? Is your intention to lose 10 pounds in a week and then gain it right back and maybe 2 more? And it'll be 12 pounds, believe me, I know this is for a fact. Or will it be, you know, will you take the slow route, which is the route that I want us to always take, is the slow route. So we have to have realistic goals. And, you know, to me, that's the most important. I did not have any realistic goals at all. I think I just kept putting one foot in front of the other.
Who would like to make a goal of doing cross-country skiing this winter? Because I would love to do something like that. So
Don't you know, though, you have to think about this, Carol. There are groups that do cross-country skiing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, sure, of course. There's groups for everything. Like, it's amazing, isn't it? How amazing it is. There's groups for everything. You can find a group of people that will go cross-country skiing with you.
Yeah,
Cool.
you can go on Meetup. Meetup is a kind of like an app or a program where you can actually set up a cross-country skiing group, and then people can join your group and do it with you.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
There's so many ways of finding people to do things with that you actually enjoy, and it's stunning. It's stunning. Like if you went to Comic-Con or something like that, there's thousands of people there that have the exact interests that you have.
What's Comic-Con?
It's a comic book thing, you know, everybody dresses up in their favorite outfit. It just looks like so much fun. But I mean, you know, you have to be a comic book fan or superhero fan or something like that. But I mean, you would be surprised how many people will be interested. You could just put that on Facebook. I want to go cross country skiing this winter. Anybody want to do that with me? You could do that. There's a million ways to find people to do things you want. You're a knitter. You want to do a quilt. You can find people to do it with you.
Cool.
How about rewarding yourself? I am all about that. I am all about if I did something good to have a reward. I want to.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why wouldn't you do that?
As long as it's not food.
And you see, there's the key right there, as long as it's not food. And that was always my reward before. But now I have other things that should be my reward. You know, you can go get a pedicure, a manicure, or, you know, a facial, or a new blouse, or especially once you lose 10 or 12 pounds, you can look for a smaller size. You know, and you don't have to spend a fortune to reward yourself. You could just take a bubble bath. Of course, I have to have a little Prosecco to have a bubble bath, but that's, you know. Then there's believe that you can. Now, I really, honestly, me, of all people, if I have lost this weight, it is a miracle. It is a sheer miracle. But I must have believed that I could do it. I must have, you know, it never dawned on me to ever stop trying. And I think when you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, no matter what the setbacks are, we talked about plateaus a couple of weeks ago. Now, if you imagine yourself being at a plateau for 6 months after losing 60 pounds and you still try, I don't know where that came from. That is not like me at all. I mean, I am, you know, I'm not like a dog with a bone. If it doesn't work well, then, you know, that's okay. But apparently I was like a dog with a bone. How about acknowledge your positives? What do you like about yourself? You know, we have to start to look at ourselves and say, what do I like and why do I want to lose this weight? What's the most important reason for you to lose this weight to you?
To stay healthy.
Put your mic up
To
there.
stay healthy.
There you go. To stay healthy.
Right.
Yeah. That's the number one. That's the only really good answer. I mean, it's really great to say, oh, I want to fit into a size 10, but you know, and do you feel the same way?
Yeah.
Just to be healthy.
Yeah, just to feel better.
And you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, you do.
That's the key. When we've been working out a lot and we've had a couple of bad weeks, and I think that slowed us down a little bit, and so then all of a sudden we started noticing little things that, you know, on our bodies, and we were going to see that wasn't there before. So we got right back on track with it. But we can find many things about ourselves that we think are okay. You know, and I think that if we acknowledge the positive part about it, that's the really good thing. How about recognize the progress? Now, you know, 83 pounds for you, and yet that is still like you lost nothing. You know, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't it like that? And I don't understand how we can't recognize the successes that we've had. Not only did you lose all that weight, which is fabulous, and everybody else in here, but the other thing is, don't you think you're eating healthier? I mean, it's you and feeling better strictly because of it. So if you really recognize your progress, that is a good one. Celebrate every pound. Well, you should really celebrate this. You should be celebrating twice. You should be going right tomorrow to get yourself a pedicure or something.
Or a new blouse.
Or
Yeah,
new blouse,
something, right?
exactly. So we have to celebrate every pound simply because it's so important, because it's so difficult. You have to give up 3,500 calories to lose a pound. That's a lot of calories. That might have been just what I had at Burger King with that meal, but you know. Here's the one that is the hardest one, I think, is to just be kind to yourself. You know, we're so mean to ourselves. It would, if a friend treated you the way you treat yourself sometimes in your head, would you be friends with them?
No.
No.
No, you would not. I will berate myself for eating a cookie as if I had just killed someone. You know, that guilt is such a waste on food. It, you know, unless you honestly are being mean to somebody or you've hurt someone or you've done something, guilt is just totally overrated. When was the last time you remember that you weren't kind to yourself? It was yesterday for me, so.
I mean, almost on a daily basis, I would say. You
Yeah.
know, if I'm not progressing like I want to, I'm always like, I'm such a loser. What's wrong with me? I can't do anything right. You know, even though you're doing something right, it's not as much as you want. So it seems to negate everything good.
All
you've
the
done.
progress.
Right.
So, but what I'm going to say to you is, imagine if I said, "Oh, you're a loser. You didn't lose weight this week, or you didn't try hard enough, or something," which are the things you would say to yourself. Would I ever see you again?
No, you can see me at McDonald's.
Oh my God, that's so hilarious. So you see how the words in our head can be so difficult.
True.
We can't talk to ourselves like this. You just can't. You do your best. I know all of you. I mean, I know you're good people. So, you know, if you just stop picking on yourself, which we certainly do that. Focus when you're not feeling motivated. Focus on how you feel, not the scale. You want to stay. You know, when you can't. We talked about that, not getting on the scale sometimes. We don't want to do that always, but sometimes I don't want to be discouraged by getting on that scale. I want to do a good job, and I might need a couple days. After this last weekend, I think I need a couple weeks. So I want to focus on how I feel, which is really so much better. Let's not forget, I'm off cholesterol medicine, I'm off high blood pressure medicine, I don't have sleep apnea anymore, I don't have acid reflux, my back is 100% better, I barely have any pain in my back, which I really walked like this, hunched over, before I lost that weight. Because, you know, it's all that weight that you have on your stomach pulls on you. So I like to focus on how I feel. And, you know, when I look in the mirror and how was I looking that day or something, I want to focus on that. And I know that I'm not perfect then, but I'm satisfied with the weight I'm at because my doctor's satisfied. If your doctor's satisfied with the way you are, then you should try to be satisfied.
That's a good measurement.
Isn't it a good measurement? Because a lot of times people will say, "Oh yeah, but I want to be a size 6. Well, you probably won't really look that great at a size 6. If I were a size 6, this would be a buffet table you'd be trying to feed me. You know, because I would be all sunken in and it wouldn't be good. So this nice little even, you know, weight that I have is something I can hold while still having a few little extra treats now and then. And that's the weight you want. It's your sort of set weight. And I think that's what we want to think about. How about don't compare yourself to others? Don't compare yourself to others. If I compared myself to people in the gym, I'd have to shoot myself. Really, honestly. It's really, honestly, too difficult. We cannot do that. You know what I do, though, when I'm in the gym or when we took that hip-hop class? I was the oldest woman in the gym. You know how I was comparing myself? Like, that's right. I'm here. I'm doing hip-hop. I could not have felt any better after that class because I did it. And I did the whole thing. And I don't really think, and they're honestly pretty sure I was at least 10 years older than almost anyone in the room. And but it was so much fun. I went to a Zumba class the other day, and I was watching the girl, and she lost 47 pounds. And she's the teacher and the owner of Sparks Gym. And she just looked like the vision of confidence up doing Zumba. all ooh, 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 ooh. I don't even know. So, I'm sexy and I know it. She's looking in the mirror and I'm going, oh my goodness, she's so filled with confidence. She's going to come in and teach us a salsa dance. And so I'll let you guys know so we can sort of dress for that. But you could, of course, still stay out there, but it's still pretty fun and very funny. Everybody laughed a lot. It was a great thing. So not comparing yourself to others. So let's just go back. Tell me the one that you really need to work on the most as we go along. One day at a time. Yeah.
I do need to work on that one.
Yes. Not the whole thing. How about surrounding yourself with positive people and positivity? Right?
Right.
This is a big one right here. And you know what? Sometimes it's painful. After a while, doesn't the drama just get overwhelming? And you have to back off and say, enough drama. Especially, this is the one thing I have to go to it, is you talk to people, they ask for your advice, you give them their advice, maybe more than once, probably 5 or 6 times, and yet they still come back to you with the same drama. I want to back out of that. I don't want to be part of that. So I think that's part of the thing that we have to think about. Ask yourself what you want. If you want to lose weight, you will make it happen, even if it's at the even the snail reached the ark. We have to think that. Let's set some realistic goals. This is not unbelievable to ask someone to set a realistic goal, not too hard, not too fast, no cleanses, no fat diets, none of that we've talked about. Reward yourself, and we all need a little reward, not food, but a little reward. Believe that you can do it, and that's a hard one. You have to work hard at that. Acknowledge the positive things about you. If you like something about yourself, well, let's like it. Imagine your goal. Celebrate every pound that you lose. Be kind to yourself, please. Focus on how you feel, not the scale. And don't compare yourself to others. All right? All right. Have a healthy week. I'll see you next week on Losing Weight with Elizabeth. Woo!